Hey, Dr. Ruth Roberts here, and I hope you've dug into the Kidney Health Starter Kit I sent you a few days ago. If you haven't, I wanted to work through each of the components so that you are encouraged to actually start using it, and also to make sure that this makes sense to you. So probably the easiest place to start is the Kidney Health Quick Start Guide. There are 4 basic steps outlined that will help you help your pet. So the first is to increase water consumption. This is important because as the kidneys begin to fail, they have difficulty sorting out the bad stuff from the good stuff. By increasing the amount of fluid on board, you dilute out the serum, which makes it easier for the kidneys to filter out the bad stuff and keep the good stuff in. The second step is to improve the quality of nutrition that your pet's eating. If your pet's eating dry food, I'd strongly encourage you to switch from dry to either canned or a complete and balanced cooked food like the original Crock-Pot diet. The reason this is important is that, first of all, it will help increase water consumption because wet and cooked food have much more water in them than dry. And secondly, this way you can control exactly what your pet is eating. We can make a diet that used to be very high in carbohydrates and poor quality proteins become a diet that is high in good quality proteins, good fats, and simple and complex carbohydrates and vegetables. This is going to help your pet's body function more normally, and as that happens, the kidney physiology will hopefully improve. The third thing would be to use fish oil at a fairly high dose. The reason this is important is that fish oil is a great natural anti-inflammatory, and because inflammation is one of the basic components of why kidney failure happens, if we can reduce inflammation, then we can slow the progression of kidney disease. The last step is to improve gut health to decrease inflammation. And the way this works is that if your gut flora is out of whack and the bad guys are in control, then they're producing pro-inflammatory molecules. If we get the gut health restored, get the good guys, the probiotics, back in control of the situation, then they actually can produce anti-inflammatory molecules. By reducing inflammation and actually getting the immune system back on a level track, we can help to decrease the autoimmune attack on the kidneys. So the overall goals for the Kidney Health Quick Start Guide is to slow progression of kidney disease, enhance quality of life, and help your pet feel better. The other thing I'd encourage you to do with kitty cats is to make any types of changes very slowly. They can be quite resistant to change, and if you're starting to switch foods around, if they are not eating well, they can actually get a liver disease that can make them very sick. With very sick or finicky dogs, you also may need to change things slowly. The next piece I would work with is the 5 questions to ask your veterinarian sheet. I want you to make sure that you get all of your questions answered, and while these are basic questions, they may help you list some other ones that you need answered. If you're having a hard time getting your veterinarian to the phone, consider making an appointment without your pet. This will allow you and your veterinarian to be focused on the conversation instead of the pet that's ill. By doing this and getting your questions answered, then you're going to gain a better understanding of your pet's condition and how your veterinarian perceives that condition. I'd encourage you to take along the 9 essential lab test worksheet and get a copy of your pet's lab results while you're at the veterinarian's office. You can also discuss other tests that may need to be considered and, again, get a better idea about how things are going to go as you work with your veterinarian. When you get home, fill out the lab worksheet each time tests are run so that you can keep track of trends of results. This will help you know if the numbers are getting worse, staying the same, or hopefully getting better. Lastly, break out the Demystifying Kidney Lab Results text. This is a little bit more dense than the other things, so if you have a hard time with numbers, go slowly. I'd encourage you to reread the text while you're looking at your pet's results because this will help you understand exactly where your pet is in the spectrum of kidney failure. Take your time understanding what the labs mean, and that way you'll be able to get a really clear picture about where things are heading. I hope this information has been helpful and will serve you and your pet well. The last thing I want to remind you of is that when we get a terminal diagnosis for our pets, we tend to go into a place of despair and hopelessness. I want you to think about your pet. Your pet doesn't understand why you're so sad. It just knows that you are. So this is your opportunity to make peace with your difficult burden. Enjoy the days you have with your pets. Enjoy the good days. Go out and do all the stuff that your pet loves to do. Let him enjoy nutrition, wonderful, wholesome foods that are going to make him feel better. And mostly, enjoy and love your pet. Let your pet show you the love that you deserve.